For to think with God about what we truly need, Luther says, often opens our eyes wider and wider to see that this is a prayer which in so many ways, in so many of our cases, God answered before we ever got around to praying for it. Because the more we truly think about what our needs truly are, the more I, for one anyway, become more and more aware of the fact that, guess what, in so many areas of my life, maybe most areas of my life, maybe every single area of my life, I have already been given what I truly need and more. I mean, there are hungry people in the world. I'm not one of them. There are homeless people in the world. I'm not one of them. There are people who live in countries in the world that are not the land of the free. I'm not one of them. There are people who live in places in the world where the fear of violence is a daily reality. I am not one of them. There are people who don't know what it means to have loved ones that you love, or any good and trusted friends who are really good and are trustworthy. I am not one of them. In light of all that, I think that this one prayer, give us this day our daily bread, is actually prayed most meaningfully, Selah, when we pause, to allow it to evolve into three prayers. The first, we are praying for what we need. So if there is something you truly need and don't have, then wrapped of the words of this petition, you are asking for it. Ask boldly. Ask confidently. You are talking to your Father in heaven, after all. But two, if you, like me, praying this prayer and thinking about what you're praying for, thinking about all the things you need, but in fact you already do have, then this petition urges you to a second prayer. Luther talks about this. That's the prayer of gratitude. Thanking God daily for the ways in which your Father in heaven has already richly provided for your needs daily. It's an important thing spiritually, because many times the only difference between those who live life spiritually, joyfully, and those who don't has nothing to do with how much they have, but much to do with how grateful they are for what they already have. This prayer is meant to shape the blessed in the direction of joy by shaping the blessed in the direction of gratitude. But finally, there's another direction in which this prayer would shape the blessed. And that leads to the third thing we're praying in this prayer. Give us this day our daily bread. Because notice, give us this day our daily bread. I'm not just praying here for me and my needs. I'm praying in this prayer for all people to have what they need. And if, in fact, I am one of those folks who is blessed beyond my true needs, then the third prayer I am praying in this one prayer is that I would be shaped not only in the direction of gratitude, but also in the direction of generosity. Because guess what? When it comes to the things all people truly need, be it food, shelter, faith, hope, or love, there is already enough for all. There's just not yet generosity among all, that God's rich blessings and deep love might be known by all. Before we resume the liturgy, on your sheet there are a few questions you may reflect on, and take those home. Let that be a prayer you keep praying. 3 questions. Are there things you truly need but lack? And in this prayer you're asking God to give you. Are there things you truly need to be grateful for? Because God has already given them to you, maybe even before you asked. And thirdly, are there ways in which God is calling you, by being generous with what you've been given, to be God's answer to the prayer of others who don't have all that they need and are also praying that our Father in heaven would give them their daily bread.